Auburn travels to Lexington to take on the Kentucky Wildcats. Let's talk about it on this live edition of the Uptempo podcast. Yes, sir. Good evening, Uptempo gang, Auburn family. Welcome back, man. Dustin Smith, Blake Lane. Y'all know the deal. We're here to talk about this game going up to Lexington, Kentucky, 6:45. Them boys are coming fresh off a beatdown of the Florida Gators, Blake. We're coming fresh off of another blown L. How you doing tonight, man?
I'm doing pretty good, Dustin. I'm ready for Saturday. I've gotten myself back into that position where I sit down and I say, hey, Auburn's going to win a football game Saturday. I'm going to say this. I truly believe that this team isn't giving up. This team is fighting. They're working hard. And you hear some of the coaching staff come out and say that the younger guys are the ones that are wanting to get better. They're the ones that are taking criticism at practice. They're wanting to get coached up. They're the ones playing hard. And so that gives me a little hope for Saturday night. That gives me a little hope that maybe one of those guys can come in and make a big time play in the fourth quarter. Maybe a Perry Thompson comes in and has a big play down the field. And we get into field goal range, and maybe Alex McPherson pops one through there for us. So, it's going to be a hostile environment. Always going up there to Lexington. They got what's the rapper they do where they got the little environment. He was hot one time, like he was. I can't remember his name. Waka Flocka. That's it.
They got Walker's up there.
Yeah. He does the little intro stuff for them. So they get rowdy up there. They played Georgia close up there earlier this year, but they've also gotten slapped around a couple times. They got slapped around by South Carolina at home, and then they were on the road this weekend against the Florida Gators, against a true freshman quarterback in DJ Lagway. I think he only completed like 7 or 8 balls, Dustin, and somehow they found a way to put up 48 points, and they had 5 rushing touchdowns. So you got clocked by Florida. So I'm sitting here wondering where is Kentucky headed? I know Auburn's 2-5, but it's not like we've been getting blown out and torched all season long. We just haven't been able to finish. So where are these two teams headed? Is that Kentucky team still together? Is the Auburn team still together? Which one's going to respond Saturday? So let's talk about it, man. I'm ready to discuss it. And
yeah.
Four down.
What if Auburn just blows Kentucky out and you don't have to worry about the whole fourth quarter yips and all that kind of stuff? I mean, if you just go in there and beat them by 10, 14 plus, but I mean, at the same time, if we're up by 10 or 14 in the second or in the fourth quarter, how good are you going to feel about it at this point? I don't know, man. I mean, I'm just gonna dig that horse up, I guess, and beat it again. Like, guess what, guys? I think Auburn's going to be in a close game.
Yep.
I think Auburn's going to have the opportunity to make some plays, and are you going to make them? I mean, and it's just it's the same. It's the same thing on repeat. When you talk about the young guys, dude, reading that DeAndre Carter got reps with the ones this week, really, really exciting. He's the most talented offensive lineman that we've had on our roster in a very long time. Now, I'll be interested because I personally think that when Broderick Scholl comes in next year, that's a guy that's something that Auburn's never seen in itself. So hearing that he's busting on there and that Joyner's continuing to come on strong, and we're seeing that in the games when he gets in there, but that he's moving towards locking down a starting spot. That really excites me. I don't have to worry about Braden Joyner loving Auburn. He's loved Auburn his whole life. I know he's going to go out there and give it his all. So that's kind of what we've been asking for. We've said, hey, if it's keep losing these games, why not get to the older guys? And then I think if all this stuff we're hearing is true, and I know it's not like a blanket thing where every upperclassman doesn't care about winning, I know it's not like that, but just in totality, if it is one of the things where like the young guys overall are the ones that are pushing and still fighting and trying to lead and that kind of stuff. Good on you for saying, all right, well, here you go. Here's the reps. Because yeah, I would rather there's the development aspect of it as far as like, okay, well, this young guy, he's got much more time to develop ahead of him versus a guy that's got 5 games left. So if we're not winning with that guy, let's see what this guy can have. There's that obvious part of it, but there's also the mental out part of it to me where it's like send a message. If those young guys are working hard, but maybe that other guy knows the playbook a little bit better, send the message that working hard is what matters right now because the experience isn't helping.
Yep.
I mean, the experienced guy in Robert Lewis dropped the pass. And look, I feel bad for him. And I know that Hugh said he sent out a group text message to the whole team that would make anybody cry. And I'm sure it did. Like I'm sure that he wanted to make that play, and I'm sure he felt really bad about it and showed up at practice and worked hard and all that kind of stuff. But like that doesn't matter. That doesn't matter at all. That doesn't
You
matter
lost.
at all. So yeah, like you lost the game, you didn't catch the ball, so it's time to get the other guys in there. Uh, it's time to get the young cats in there, man, and the other young receivers like Perry. Because I mean, like me and you've seen Perry run that route a million times in high school, and that they just you don't have to you don't have to learn the go route. He knows how to run it, and he makes that catch. He just does.
Oh man, yeah, that's a tough one because you see today that Brady Cook's out against Alabama, and he come in against us, and they found a way to beat us, and we blew the game. You got to make a play Saturday night. Excuse me. You got to make a play Saturday night in Lexington. You can't keep having what happened last Saturday keep going any further. I don't care if it's true freshmen on the field. We're to that point, right? We're to the point of I'm tired of seeing Robert Lewis. I don't I don't need to see it anymore. Okay? Let's put the puppies on the field.
Yeah.
Let's make it happen. All right. If I know Bryce Kane's redshirting, he gets 4 goes. All right. He's played in 1. He's got 3 left. All right. Get him in a game. Get him in a game. Let's see what he's got. All right. Um, I do one thing I do think is a big deal is like you said, these cats are coming in. DeAndre Carter, you're getting time with the ones. What does that speak for the 25 class? They're looking at this going, hey, man, DeAndre Carter's already busting into the ones. Like, that means we can come on campus and we can play right away. Like,
Right.
we don't have to sit a year or 2 years. And that's why when people ask me, y'all, they're like, well, I got into it with an Alabama fan yesterday on Twitter because I felt like he was being a smartass in my replies. When I said Deuce is loose, he gets his 5-star. And he said, well, about time y'all got one. I said, okay, well, you're not really talking trash about Auburn recruiting, are you? And he's
Right.
like, well, we've got 5 of them. I don't care, bro. We're 4 spots behind you. It's not that big of a gap. But my point is, he asked me, he said, well, you really don't think this class is going to fall apart? And I said, no, I don't. I really don't, because the fact of you're flipping guys from big time programs like Notre Dame with Deuce Knight. You have the momentum on the trail. You have these guys coming out and saying, hey, we're not going anywhere. Blake Woodby. I love Auburn. These guys believe in what's happening right now. They do. Even though we're not winning, they believe that they can come in and make a difference right away. The guy got under Blake Woodby's post and he said, how much money did Hugh pay you to say that? He said $1.
Yeah, that's
Right?
funny.
I thought it was hilarious because I feel like they are speaking from the heart, man. It's a love for Auburn, and I kind of questioned that Tuesday night. I said, who truly loves Auburn on this football team? I want to see the young guys get in, develop, get the reps, see if they can make a play. Because the older guys, they're not doing it right now. And that's not a knock to them. I love those dudes, man. They chose Auburn University. We'll always love Eugene. He's a leader. He's a guy that he's been through everything. You know, I don't want to down those guys, but I also want to see the Riddicks and those guys get on the field. I want to see Malik Blockton keep stepping up and making plays, and all these young cats out there that can help us in the 25 and 26 years where Hugh said, hey, those are going to be the years that we compete. Those are going to be the years where I look for us to advance ourselves and put ourselves in the conversation of the college football playoff. Do it. Go do it Saturday night. Kentucky doesn't fear me. That is, like, I'm not saying that they're a terrible football team, but from what I watched last Saturday night, they don't fear me. This isn't a game where I'm walking in saying, well, Auburn's about to get beat by 3 touchdowns. This is a game where I'm walking in saying, hey, is Auburn going to blow this again? Is Auburn really going to have another opportunity to win a football game and not make a play late in the game? Got to start making the plays. I want to see these young cats get on the field, man. You're right about Perry. I'm just kind of scratching my head of why he hasn't had a little bit more run this year. I don't know everything that goes on at practice or behind the scenes, and I get Coach Hugh Freeze saying that the playbook and all this stuff, and I know he showed up late, but I just feel like he brings a good bit of talent to the table. And some of this stuff that we've been watching, he could be out there making those plays. So maybe he gets his go time Saturday.
Yeah, I hope that he does get more reps. Kind of looking at Kentucky's numbers here, Blake, and one thing I think that you mentioned before we got started was it seems like these are trending in the wrong direction, especially the defense here after like 5 rushing touchdowns last week to Florida. But total offense, they are at 114th in the country. Total defense, they are 12th, giving up 283.6 yards per game. Red zone defense, they are 56th in the country. Red zone offense, they are 60th. I don't think they're averaging 421.9 a game. I may have put Auburn down accidentally there for total. I don't think it'd be 114th, but I will check that out real quick. But Blake, when you look at that defense, what do you kind of think about it while I check this out and go to fix it? The defense is 12th. They are a really good defense. One thing that I do have wrote down here, though, is red zone defense for Kentucky is 56th. Now, Auburn's red zone offense is 89th in the country. What are some ways, though, Blake, that you think that we can attack this Kentucky defense that has been solid for the majority of the season, but has kind of had some holes these last couple of games?
Yeah, I think you gotta attack it with Jarquez Hunter and Damari Alston and Jeremiah Cobb. Excuse me. DJ Lagway, I'm talking about last Saturday night with the Florida Gators. He found success down the field also against Kentucky. They took a couple shots with DJ and he connected. So if Peyton can push it down the field and maybe, the run game opens those opportunities up, because let's be honest, y'all, everybody is going to play Auburn. They're going to make you throw the ball to beat them. All right.
Yeah.
They're going to put it on Peyton. They don't believe that Peyton Thorne can beat them. All right. And that was said by an anonymous SEC defensive coordinator. That's how they play Auburn, because they don't believe Peyton can get it done. So I feel like if you do run the ball and Jarquez does have success, like Florida did last Saturday, they had a little success on the ground. I feel like it could open up opportunities down the field for a KLS or, a Cam Coleman. I would really like to see Cam Coleman get going. But, yeah, I think you got to let Jarquez eat, man. Get him going early. Let's get in that screen game a little bit. I want to see our backs out of the backfield. I think it's going to be a very, very close game. I think it's going to be, when I look at it, I don't think – I saw a thing on Twitter today and somebody was like, yeah, I think we put up 30. I do not think we put up 30.
It's a blowout if we do that.
If we put up 30, yeah, we might be walking out of Lexington with a fat dub. I do not think we put up 30. I think we might get in those mid 20s. But You can't turn the ball over, Dustin, especially on the road. Like I said, it's going to be a hostile environment. But get it going with Jarquez, man. Let 27 get it going on the ground. And I think this offensive line has been pretty dang good. Run blocking. It hasn't been bad. I see a couple people, they're like, oh, well, the O-line's got to get better. Our O-line, it's not great, okay? But let's not sit here and act like our O-line is the reason we're 2-5, y'all.
It's
Our
better than it's been
O-line
in
is
a long
awesome.
time. Sorry to cut you
Yes.
off. This.
No, 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 no. You're good. You're good. Our O line has played. I'm not going to say dominant football, but you could at least flip it and us be 5-2 and not 2-5.
Right.
Our O line is not 2-5 bad. Okay, they've had success. Has pass blocking been the best? No. Like we went over that a little Tuesday night. We're not going to say any names,
Yeah.
but I feel like Auburn's got to get it going on the ground once again. You should stay on the ground when it works. And then hopefully that loosens that defense up and it opens up some opportunities.
Yeah, I agree with you on the Cam Coleman, man. Let's find number 8 now. I mean, you find him on a deep ball one time last week, he gets in the end zone, and you don't see him again. And that's one thing that I'm getting tired of, Blake, is guys make big plays, and I don't see him get the ball again for a quarter or two. Sometimes the rest of the game, and I don't understand that. Like, guy has a big play, let's go. I'm not saying turn right around and give the ball to him again the next play, but feed him, baby, feed him. Use these weapons we got.
Did you see the thing that I think it was Zach and Daryl? It might have been C5. Somebody. I can't remember where I saw it. But they were saying that Cam has only been targeted like 6 times. Uh,
Mm,
what was it, under 9 yards or something like that? It was some weird stat like that where
right.
like
All deep balls.
yeah, everything's deep. Everything's
Yeah.
deep. Uh, let's get Cam involved in some screens. Get him the ball, man. Put the ball in his hands. Let him go make a play. I thought that was a very interesting stat because everything is down the field for Cam. Down the field. It's a go ball or a 50-50. Let's get him in some space, man. Maybe throw him one behind the line of scrimmage and let him go make a play. Um,
Yeah, especially early, right? Like feed him
yeah.
early, see if he can get something going. I mean, you've drawn up screens for Robert Lewis. I mean, you've thrown all kind of screens to Robert Lewis. Let's draw some up for Cam Coleman and see if he can bust those things in there, dude. Shout out to our guy Ike Jones. He immediately messaged me and said it's 299.5 on that Kentucky offense, so I didn't have to look it up. Appreciate it, Ike. So yeah, look, total offense are 114th in the country, and
Mhm.
I think, I mean, look, like I said, their red zone defense is 56, but Auburn being at 89, that can't continue. I mean, you're missing field goals down there. You can't run it in. It's bad. It's bad. It's bad. And I thought the red zone was like my whole thing going into the season was I'm like, bro, in the red zone with Peyton Thorne, he's not going to kill you with his legs, but you gotta respect it. The running backs that we have, Valdo, and now the weapons on the outside. Like I thought the red zone was going to be, and Valdo has been non-existent down there, just non-existent. And it's been the most. It's probably we don't talk about it enough because when you go 2-5, there's a lot of stuff to talk about, and
Yeah.
and like tight end production might not be highest on the list, but bro, this him and Keontae.
How did those two have such a big fall off, Dustin? Like,
I think with Keontae, it's system, and then the guys that
mhm.
left. I don't, and like I think that's a lot of why Eugene's production hasn't been that high this year. Is I think it's the change of system. I think he's being used a lot differently in this system, and it probably doesn't highlight his abilities the best way. And then like Ron Roberts was because of what he had on the back end with Simp and Nehemiah and DJ, all these guys that got drafted. He was able to bring Keontae on blitzes and use him in creative ways and do all these things that match Keontae's skill set. I just don't think he's this lockdown corner that we went into the season hoping that was going to be. And now if I look on the outside, I've got a true freshman in Falston and a true freshman in Crawford that have won the starting spots. It excites me moving forward. Just didn't see the year playing out that way at the beginning of the season.
you
And I don't
know,
know about Rivaldo. I don't know what the hell's going on there.
well, I'm Justin. I'm gonna. I just want to pull this one up real quick. Is Says it's not really Fairweather's fault. Gets like 2 targets a game. One thing I will say is they did try to insert Rivaldo early in the season,
Yeah.
and he was dropping everything.
Yeah.
He still can't block that great. So, at what point did Hugh kind of look at it and say, "All right, we're just not getting the same production that we got last year"? Now I understand that he's not the focal point like he was last year, but earlier this year, man, there was a point where I was on here and I was like, "Did Valdo just forget how to play football?" Because there was that ball in the Cal game where I was like, "Come on, man! Like, if we want to win football games, you got to catch that dog." It's been that kind of year for Auburn, Dustin.
Yeah, I'll tell you guys what kind of year it's been. And sometimes I make the mistake of thinking that everybody's on social media all the time. And a lot of y'all aren't, because a lot of y'all are smart, not dumb like me and Blake. But listen, oh, Ben Scott Stevens today, at Ben Scott Stevens, put out a stat that is just about as rough as it gets. 28 or 27 FBS offenses average at least 6.5 yards per play this season. 29 FBS defenses allow 5 yards or less per play. There are only 7 teams in Division I football doing both. Army, Indiana, Ohio State, Ole Miss, Penn State, Texas, and Auburn. If you remove Auburn from that, the combined record of the 6 other teams is 36-4. So it's why I said, it's why I've been saying the last couple of weeks, I'm done with the breakdowns of what's going wrong here and what's going wrong there. And I don't care about the details anymore of any of this stuff because of that right there. Because you're doing everything you need to do outside of closing it out. Yep. Outside of actually winning and actually putting the nail in the coffin. It's like you built the whole house up, and then you said, "We're going to leave the roof, though. We're not going to finish this thing off." So I just, it's maddening, and I know we're young and all that. I'm looking at some of these people on this coaching staff to fight. Like, look, come on. I don't care if it's DJ. I don't care if it's Charles Kelly. I don't care if it's Coach Crime. Hell, I don't care if it's Coach Thornton. Somebody, man. Like, let's find a way to get these kids to believe in themselves, because it's probably gonna be a close game. And you talk about not turning the ball over, Blake. We didn't turn it over versus Georgia, correct? Goose eggs, right?
Yeah, goose eggs.
I think both teams had 0 turnovers, and I might be wrong on that. Y'all correct me in the chat if we're wrong on that. But we didn't turn it over a lot. If we did, we turned it over once, and then we turned the ball over one time at Missouri. So in these 2 road games, you're not really turning the ball over a lot. And really, since Peyton came back in the second half of Arkansas, there hasn't been a lot yet. One in the Oklahoma game, and it was
a big one,
the worst one of the season.
Yeah, it felt like that was it was 1, but it felt like 5.
It counted for 5.
Yeah.
That was a heavy one, like a program altering type turnover. Like, Jesus, dude. Yeah, so I mean that's something that's picked up, but it's just we're finding new ways. It's almost like you want to go and look at it and say, okay, what way has Auburn not lost yet? Let me predict that to be the way they do it this time. And I hate that, man. And I know that, like, at this point, 90% of the fan base feels the same way. Like, you got to show me. So I'm just going to be in front of my TV at 6:45 on Saturday night, begging them to show me, dude.
I'm with you there. You know the movie the Benchwarmers, where he's like scared of the sun.
Yeah.
Well, it feels a whole lot like that. Auburn's just scared of winning.
Yeah.
Right? So how he goes out in the sun and he's just like, ah. Well, that's Auburn when it comes to winning in the fourth quarter.
Yeah. We're leading.
Yeah, it's shy away moment. We don't want to make a play. All right, 3rd and 18, got a chance to win the game. We don't want to make a play. 4th and 5, got a chance to win the game. We don't want to make a play. A field goal, you got a touchdown pass. All you got to do is catch it. You win the game. Drop it, miss field goal. It's just, you're allergic. You're allergic to making big plays. So I'm with you, Dustin, on sitting in front of the TV. You got to show me. And I even told Dustin, we were talking about were like, man, you got to show me. And I said, well, hey, good thing we are in the show me state last Saturday.
Yeah.
I was like, maybe we do show somebody. And then I'm just all pumped up, I'm sitting there and I'm in kneeling watching on my phone and I'm like, come on, baby, and then disaster strikes. And yeah, just allergic to it. That's what Auburn is.
It's frustrating. Justin says Auburn defies common sense. Yeah, y'all know the 4-letter acronym for it, and I hate it. I hate it. I'm begging somebody. It's like a damn old medieval fairy tale where the princess is stuck up in the castle and you're waiting on the knight to come slay the dragon. For the love of God, the Auburn family is stuck up in the top of the castle, and we're begging somebody to come slay this Jabba beast. I don't care who you are at this point. Urban Meyer, come on down. Whoever it's going to take, somebody kill this beast. Galatian says Malcolm Simmons and Perry Thompson need more plays. You will not get an argument from me or Blake on that one, buddy.
Yep.
Karen says, I wonder what they gave Cooks to come back in the game Saturday. I want some. It's really funny you say this, Karen, because I actually text Blake at about 8:30 this morning, and I was like, yeah, man, because I turned 33 next week. I was getting kind of old, man. I wouldn't mind a little bit of that Brady Cook juice in my back every morning just to get me up and going, because whatever they gave our boy, man, flying high, dude. He was flying high.
He got some of that Lance Harbor juice and
yes, he did.
He got some of that Lance Harbor juice. When they walk in there, they say, you put that needle in his leg, and this will be the last time I play for you. I'll rip your arms off and slap you with them. Yep. That's what he got. He was getting that Lance Harbor juice.
Yeah, Karen, I agree with you. I wouldn't mind a little shot or whatever that is every morning when I wake up. I'm going to go kick today's ass. Brad says, no notification. This has started. Thanks a lot, YouTube. War Damn Eagle, everyone. Yeah, man. You know how YouTube is. But most of the time, Brad, we're going to be here around 6. We usually go live at 6 on Thursdays, 7 on Tuesdays, buddy. So just be on the lookout for us. And we don't mind if you watch us on the replay, man. Fire Freeze in here with the $10 super chat. Appreciate you been supporting us a lot these last couple of weeks, big dog. Definitely means a lot to us. Says, will we finally see a game where Perry Thompson is targeted a few times, or is he going to continue to only come in to block? I'm going to get more and more frustrated that if he's only a blocker.
That's kind of been, I don't want to say that it's predictable, but usually when you send in guys and like Perry and all he's doing is blocking, when 3 comes on the field, you're like, he's blocking, man. I don't know. It just seems to me like, I know Hugh knows a lot more football than I do, but as an opposing DC, they got to see that, right?
Like, we're calling it out, yeah.
Yeah, Perry Thompson's in the game. Oh, we saw this on film. He's just blocking. So maybe throw it to him. Maybe throw it to him downfield one time. See if he can make a play.
Tell you what's funny, Blake, is I can still watch a UCF game. I can watch UCF this Saturday, and I can still call the plays on the formation. I can still look at the play and say, I know what's about to happen, and I'm right majority of the time.
Nothing has changed. It's still a one-man route tree. All right. Yep. It is one man. That is the ball is going to one man pre-snap. Nothing's changed down there. That's why they've lost every year they start out, they're like, oh man, UCF, they got a squad this year. UCF, man. I'm like, no, they don't. Like, they really don't. They don't have a squad. You want to know why? Because the guy standing on the sideline is still running the same crap that he ran in 2013. I'm like, well, that KJ Jefferson. Oh, the guy y'all were saying that was Cam Newton 2.0, and he's been in college for 7 years? No. All right. They're not good.
Matt says, that tweet is why I have faith in the future. Yeah, for sure. For sure. And I hope that it ends up being that. It ends up being something that we can look on and say, okay, we were close. Y'all kind of know where I stand on it. I'm not, at this point, I'm not on one side of the fence or the other. I'm just standing here observing because I don't know. I don't know what the hell is going to end up happening with this whole thing. it's hard. I'm losing faith as far as the overall system is going to be able to work out because of things that I'm seeing. But yeah, man. I mean that when you look at that, there's obviously proof of concept. There's obviously the fact that it's improved a whole lot from last year. So yeah, the hope is they just learn how to win and then keep putting up those numbers like the other 6 teams on that list that are all having great years. You
Army.
know, Army, yeah, brother. Any stat you look up, Army's in that thing. Offense, defense. I mean, outside of like receiving yards, they're up there.
What's crazy too is y'all when we talk about Army football, all right, you obviously know it's the military and they have a weight requirement to get into the military. Everybody's like, man, why do they run the triple option so much? All right. Well, there's a reason why they have to run the triple option is because they don't have the size on the offensive line to compete in the trenches. All right. But for them to have the season that they're having, and you look and Auburn's on that list, Army's undefeated. And Auburn's on the same list. Ohio State lost a last second game against Oregon, top 3 matchup. They're on that list. And Auburn, it says in bold print down at the bottom, Auburn 2-5. Like, what?
Yeah.
What? Come on, man.
Yeah, and
Wow.
again, it's one of them things where if you told us all this stuff before the season and you left the turnovers out, I'd be like, "Are we in the playoffs?" Like,
Yeah.
what is Peyton Thorne balling out here? Uh, Justin says, "Why would you do something that works?" This is a valid question, Justin. That tends to be something that not necessarily the most Auburn thing to do right now. Teresa says the young ones are hungry. The old ones are used to losing. I mean, yeah, again,
Mm.
I don't want to paint that broad brush. And a guy like KLS who has come in, we say, well, it's the portal guys, then there's a guy like KLS who's come in and just really been a class act, been good on the field and off the field. But yeah, I mean, for the most point, it does appear that way, Teresa. It does look like overall the young guys are turned up and ready to go. And
Yeah.
I think that you're just hearing that from a lot of different places. So there's definitely probably some truth to it. Brett says, "Will this be a first to 20 wins type game?" I say first to 14 gets the dub.
It could be very, very sloppy, low scoring. Take me back to like freaking power eye formation football. Just grind it out, play the clock. I'm with you, man. It could be like a 14-10 game. I
Yeah,
think if
yeah,
I think if Auburn gets to 20, they win.
yeah. Yeah, Brett, first
20.
one to 20 definitely
Yeah.
gets the dub. Definitely. I think so. Rigger Spoon says, ain't no Prince saving us, but maybe a Shrek and a donkey. Hey, I don't care. It could be the biggest jackass in the world, bro. Just get us up out of this hell. Firefree says, I can tell you there are some painkillers that will make you invincible. I tore my hamstring 7 times in a tournament at Auburn and kept playing. Didn't feel it till the next day. Yeah. Blake, remember the episode the day I had my elbow surgery in
Hmm.
December?
Yeah.
I don't remember it. I yeah, yeah. I heard it was a good time. Go back and watch that, y'all. I think it's gonna be December 2nd, I believe, sometime 1st of December. Go
Yeah.
back and watch the first 5 or 10 minutes of that if you want a good laugh. I am up, y'all. I am gone in that episode. Gone. Oh man. Let's get to these predictions, Blake. Let's make predictions, brother. Score prediction time. Oh god. Kentucky 7, Auburn 6.
Wow.
I don't care anymore. Like
Yeah,
7-6
it's
Kentucky.
it could honestly be that though. Um, mm, I like Auburn 24-20. I think
Ooh.
Auburn gets it done. I think Auburn
How
gets it done.
how are we getting 24, Blake?
I think you're going to get Alex McPherson inside of the 35.
Okay.
I think I think you're down. late in the game, 20-17. And I think one of these young cats make a play. I think we're driving, and I think we find our way into the end zone to win the game. And I just I've been hearing momentum this week, young guys, a team that hasn't given up, a team that is still bought in to turning this thing around, and young guys wanting to get better. Um, you've been close. You've been close. It's not like when we take a step back and really look at it, it's not like we've just been getting absolutely mollywopped.
Right.
So, yeah, we're losing. All right, we're losing, and they're heartbreaking losses. I'd probably rather get mollywopped. All right, especially that Oklahoma game. Just come in and beat me by 30, dog. I'd rather just get beat by 30 and you drown the sorrows out. Losing the way we have been losing is what's painful, and I think the way the fan base has the way we've had to go through these things is what makes it even worse. And everybody's like, well, we're at each other's necks. And I'm like, well, we also haven't been winning for 4 years. Like, it's been tough. I mean, we've been through hell, and it feels like we're on repeat, and it's just the same scene over and over and over again. But I believe in this team. I'm not going to give up on them. I think it's a close game, and I think you finally break through and make a play on the road. And if you get a win, watch out. You get to come back to the crib with a little momentum. And one thing I want more than anything, y'all, I'll say this. I want them damn Vanderbilt Commodores, and I want them bad. And the reason I want them bad is because he come in our house and embarrassed us last year. All right. They're hot. They're rolling. They're a good football team. But then he beat Alabama. And now, what better way to salvage your freaking season than to wax them in Jordan-Hare? So it starts Saturday for me. If you can find a dub, come back home with some momentum in your house, because I guarantee you, guess what? Auburn fans are going to show up. A 3-5 Auburn team coming back home, Auburn fans are going to show up. You're going to come back home to a packed Jordan-Hare Stadium against Vanderbilt. So go get a damn dub. Somebody go make one play Saturday night. Make one play to win a football game. Last drive of the game, go make a play. Whether it's offense or defense, get off the field on third and then fourth down. Get off the field. Just make a play. You don't need to be no PI or 4th and 5, and we know who the ball's going to with their best player, and we let him get off the line of scrimmage, free release, and get 6 yards. None of that, man. Somebody step up, make a play. Go win a damn game.
Make a field goal kick, for the love of God.
Jesus Christ, that's a win right there. You could rack those things up, Dustin, and that's a win. We at least got one win.
Remember Les Miles' last game when Carlson was 6 for 6 and we won 18-12 or 15 or whatever the hell it was?
Yep.
They had the God, that was a quarterback right before Burrow, and he rolled out and he completed it and they scored the touchdown, but they didn't get the snap off in time. Yeah. What a wild game. And at the time it was like, if Gus lost, he might get fired, and then Miles lost and he got fired. Good. Matt says Tucky 17-14. Teresa's got Auburn 9-7. Pops has Kentucky 27-17. Connie has Auburn 21-17. Fire Freeze said, let's go old school, baby. Field goal to a safety. Kentucky 3, Auburn 2. C says, I like I think we pulled this one off. Dan, why are we here? But yeah, we figured this one out. I hope you're right, man. I hope that you and Blake are right. Brad says 17-10 UK. UK scores 10 in the fourth.
I'd lose my mind.
You better
I
get ready
would
to lose your mind.
lose.
You better get ready to lose your mind.
Not again, man. God, I'm tired of going through this.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. That's why I was so mad last week, Blake. Like, that's probably the maddest I've been after. Like, I was
I'm
hot. Right?
Yeah, we should be.
This is just ridiculous. Brad says, burn a red shirt for blocking. Yeah.
That's the truth.
Yeah, I mean, you still got what, 5 games? What do we? Yeah, we got 5 games left, so you still got just under half a season to throw it to them and use them. So maybe not, Brad. Maybe it starts now. We're hearing about all these young guys getting more reps of practice, all that kind of stuff. So maybe, buddy, just maybe so. All right, guys, hit that like button before we get out of here. Sub to the channel. We greatly appreciate it. Right here. Just right here on the door of 2,000 subs. So help us get there. Share this out on social media. Members, I apologize that I have not got the Deuce Night pod out to you guys. I will do that tomorrow as soon as I get off work. It's been a busy couple of days with the family and things like that. Had somebody in the family go through some stuff, so I had to take care of that. Life happens, but we'll definitely get that pumped out to you guys. I'll get it recorded up tomorrow as soon as I get off for work. Everything's queued up, ready to go. And that's all I got tonight, man. I hope that we're back here Sunday, Blake. Oh, boy. We need a victory pod.
Go win a game. It's on the entire program right now. Go win a game. Go make a play. Go be big in the fourth quarter. That's all we got to do, man. Just one play. That's what it's going to come down to. Go make it. They're a team that's struggling right now, just like us. But I feel like we at least got a little bit of momentum with the hope of our program. I mean, you just went and got waxed by Billy Napier, a guy that's got 1 foot out the door in Gainesville. You gave up 50. So go make a play. I don't care if it's in Lexington.
This would be brutal, Rigger. Auburn loses 17-14 with Kentucky winning on a kick return after we take the lead. I might take a week off. You might just not have an up-tempo podcast episode for a week if this happens.
Yeah,
I might have to go. I might be institutionalized.
Yeah, I might stop podcasting, honestly.
All right, man. We thank you guys, man. Thank you guys for tuning in. Good crowd tonight. We're gonna see you guys Sunday. I pray it is a victory podcast. Until then, man, War Damn Eagle. We'll see you on the next one. We're out.
War Damn.